What's up, gang? Shooting the video for Friday. Friday we usually have some sort of movement-related game. This week it's going to be centered around some juggling. So it is not a day so much about becoming a juggler or practicing juggling if you already know how to do it. It's setting aside 10 to 15 minutes to allow yourself to struggle and grow in some way regarding juggling. Juggling is not a static thing. It's an art or a skill that can grow way in one direction, or it can just be a very basic introduction into manipulating some external object. A lot of us in the gym have played sports growing up, and in many of those involves some type of ball, whether that's a basketball or a soccer ball or a tennis ball or even a hockey puck. And all of these, if you look at them from this perspective, are games or ways of just manipulating some external object. And there are a lot of skills that go along with that game that you kind of develop along the way. We don't remember the process so much because a lot of us learned to play and started playing when we were children. But we struggled a lot in the beginning, no doubt about it. Maybe some of us had quicker pickup than others. But somewhere along the way, I think it became common to just stop picking up new random skills just for the heck of it, or stop struggling through these random things. So soapbox aside, we're going to take 15 minutes and we're just going to expose ourselves to that same process with some tennis balls or baseballs or eggs if you're really brave. I don't think I would recommend that. But the idea is simple. We're going to put 15 minutes on the timer, and I'm just going to walk you through a whole bunch of variations, a whole bunch of gateways into juggling that you could sink your teeth into. I am by no means a good juggler. I've practiced a few variations. I think it's fun, every now and then to step into. But I am not speaking for the juggling world here. Like I said, very close to a novice on it. But a lot of interesting things have come from it, some of them being focus or hand-eye coordination, or even just having to work through struggle and kind of like frustration. So with all that being said, let's talk about ways you can do this. With any of these variations I'm going to show you, your goal is simple. You can either spend as long as it takes you to accrue 100 total repetitions of any or all of these, or if you can get 50 in a row without messing up, or consecutive, depending on what variation it is, then think about moving on to a more challenging version. Okay? The other catch here, juggling pun, is to make sure that you can do it on both hands before moving on. So you have to be able to do it on your right as well as your left before moving on. Like I said, lots to be learned and taken away from this process. So let's begin with one ball. So if you're brand new to juggling and you're like, I can't juggle, I don't have the skill to do that, this part is for you. We can start with as basic as throwing the ball up and coming back down. We're just trying to get real basic awareness of what's going on, throwing the ball up and down. My challenge to you is to try and keep your eyes looking forward or up and kind of where the ball is expected to go, and then do your best to catch it. Same thing. We'll do both sides. If you're like, okay, I can't juggle, but I could do that, like, give me something a little bit more challenging. We're going to throw the ball up, and when it's in the air, I want you to just kind of pinch your hands together. It's not going to make a big noise like a snap. It's just a timing thing. So as you throw the ball up, pinch your hands together and catch. So there's a rhythm. Ball's up, pinch, and catch. Just try and get that rhythm. If you can do it over and over, even better. But try and find the rhythm here that allows you to just continuously go. Same thing. Toss it over to the other side. Whoop, almost lost it in the sunlight there. Back and forth. Okay, we start to nail that. Like, okay, I can actually do a few of these elements. Let's start bringing two balls together. All we're looking to do here in the beginning is to be able to have both balls leave your hand and then both balls come back into a catch. And maybe one of the basic ways to do that is to have the balls travel from kind of inside out. So throw 1, 2, and catch. 1, 2, catch. 1, 2, and catch. And for a lot of us, especially if you've never juggled before, this is where the challenge is really going to come in. So it's not going to be perfect the first time. Really what you want to find is something that's like, oh my gosh, I can't do it, but it's not like impossible, and then to just like struggle with it for a little while. And if this is your version, I want you to practice it and try, like I said, to accrue a total of 100 repetitions. Same thing on the other side. Throw 1, 2, failure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You get the idea. And like I said, you're going to miss a ton, especially when you find where your threshold is. Don't count the ones that fall out. Only count the ones that work for you. Okay. We're kind of doing these 1 rep at a time. Now we're going to start to think about exploring different variations of it. So if you can do the in to out, maybe we try and go out to in. Same thing. Up, up, and catch. Up, and catch. So we haven't even talked about doing consecutive repetitions just yet. All we're trying to do is a certain pattern, out to in or in to out, where both balls leave the hands and then both balls, you catch them. Same thing. Switch hands, go to the other side. And then a third pattern, we can call these columns. So instead of having them go in any sort of circular manner, we're just going to throw it up, side by side. And catch. And catch. Do, do, and catch. Do, do, and catch. Pretty smooth. If you can do all of these, or you play with any of these variations, and you're able to get through 100 repetitions, and you're like starting to build some confidence, getting some of the coordination, then we start to go with some consecutive repetitions. So you pick the pattern. I think I showed you in order of maybe a challenge. So in to out, maybe being the easiest to start with, out to in being the next, and then columns being the third. But your goal then is to be able to start to get some consecutive repetitions. And you know the number that we're just going to throw out there as the kind of baseline for saying, okay, I got it, is 50 in a row. So you're used to doing 1 at a time. Then we start to think about, okay, what does it take to keep this game going? And you'll quickly find that there are little, important cues about where you look or where you throw the ball or how you catch it that start to matter about keeping the game going. Again, explore it on both sides. And if you do this, with enough focus or in earnest, you're going to spend 15 minutes very, very quickly. Try not to look at the clock. Maybe set a timer so that it goes off when you're done. But commit yourself 15 minutes to trying to just explore this skill. See wherever you get. And who knows, you may enjoy it, and you may find that this is a nice little 15-minute deep focus exercise that you want to come back to and maybe develop the skill further. If not, even if it's only done 1 time, I think there's a lot of benefit to sinking your teeth into something like this that's new, that's challenging, and like I said, that maybe even is frustrating, and running with it. If you can do all of those and it's feeling pretty good, then I say bring out the third ball, and we're just going to try and include all 3 of them. So again, we can start with just once through, getting all 3 balls in the air. 1, 2, 3, and catch. 1, 2, 3, and catch. Just getting used to okay, what has to actually happen to get 1 cycle through? If you're able to get that, then again, we're looking to just go continuously. Shooting a video and talking a little bit more challenging than I had given it credit for. So we'll do it again. Okay, so I'm talking, juggling, got the mask on, shooting a video. I have an itch on my foot. Can I do it? Got a little bit. So you add the level of complexity that works for you. Have some fun. Hopefully you're smiling underneath your masks. And if you do give this a shot, let me know what you think, where you got, if you're going to try it again. And hope you have some fun. So happy Friday. Enjoy the challenge.